Greetings from my third time trying to make this video. I don't know if the universe is telling me not to make a video this morning or what, but here I'm back. I spilled my coffee. I had to put Mr. Beasley in the crate because he was getting super bitey, and then I was in the middle of it and my internet went down. Anyway, he's doing all right over there. If he starts whining, it's okay. It's that morning. So how's everybody doing out there? Greetings from central Pennsylvania. The snow is melting. Packages are arriving on the doorstep. Mr. Beasley had a good vet appointment yesterday. And then my husband's like, man, if we weren't like new parents right now, we'd be going out to breakfast. And then he goes, let's drop him off and crate him and go to breakfast. So we did that. It was like, then we decided to return some packages to Big Lots, and I was looking to see if there was something else that would work. The thing I ordered didn't work. And I don't know if you guys run into this with your husband, but like I'm going through the aisles, just scanning, looking for something related to these candles. And he's just sort of trailing along behind me, like 3 or 4 paces. I'm like, you can just go. Like I wanted 2 things. I wanted to scan to see if I could find something to replace this thing that didn't work, and nutmeg. And I found the massive industrial nutmeg that'll last me the rest of my life. Anyway, and he's like, no, I'm enjoying this. He's just enjoying trailing along behind me, aisle to aisle. Do your husbands do that with you? Like, what's enjoyable about that? It's not that enjoyable for me. Just sort of like creeping behind the creeper. Anyway, it's kind of funny. We went to breakfast. Then he's like, well, let's go to Aldi because we're right by Aldi. Aldi is fun, but we just sort of, he calls it a surgical strike. We went in and just got the few things that we needed to get. But I always looked at seasonal stuff because I thought maybe I'd find these candle project I'm in to try to find some for these candles. Anyway, but it's always fun to cruise through there and see what they have. And I already have a million cheeses. I did last night, here's a hack. Here's a tip. If you have a million cheeses left over from like buying too many things for a charcuterie thing or whatever, you can make a multi-cheese grilled cheese. That's what I did last night. And I put that mostarda spread on it. Those were good. So we had for dinner last night. So anyway, I started reflecting on something and I wanted to share it today about unexpected signs of thriving or signs of thriving that get overlooked. It has to do with the body. And obviously, as we get older, as we age, our bodies start to break down like a car. You have a car for, a number of years and it starts to show signs of wear. And same with aging. And so we have to maintain things, a little differently as we get older. And systems start to show signs of breaking down. One major sign of thriving in your life is that your body is in a state of neutrality. I used to say this to my clients, like the goal here isn't to get your body, I dealt with people in pain all day long, every day for, nearly 30 years. So, pain was frequent topic of conversation. I said, the goal is not to get your body feeling great, feeling fantastic. The goal is to get your body feeling neutral. Feeling not much. Like the body should not be having a lot of sensation unless we are stimulating it to have sensation, like we're eating something really good or we're smelling something we like or, touch, things like that. But it should normally, in our normal operating hours, we should be in a state of pretty neutral where we're not having a lot of sensation. That's the goal. And so, especially if you've been sick or going through a period of pain, just getting to neutral feels amazing. So the goal is to just feel like a whole lot of nothing, really, in this vehicle that's carrying us through our life is a pretty unsensory experience unless we are stimulating it in some way to have a sensory experience. I hope I'm making sense here. So if your body is not sending you a lot of signals of pain, of hunger, of a burning sensation in your stomach, of a headache, of, bloating or whatever it is, you're thriving. And I think this is something that we forget about because we just sort of just get to a feeling of like normal without realizing that that is a sign of thriving in your life, especially when you're older, like me. So I was looking at that last night. I was, December, again, is a month of reflection, even though we're out doing and getting super hyper stimulated out in the world. It's really the vibe of September is about sort of bringing everything together over the last year, reflecting on that, good, bad, and indifferent, like how do we do? And so I was doing that yesterday and talking to my husband about it last night, about like, wow, when I think about it, there's been a lot of things that have resolved over the last year. Just physicality, like everything's like really working right now. I'm sleeping like a baby. My mood is really good. My digestive things, I went through some stuff like that with heartburn and stuff. Like, it's been weeks and weeks since I've felt that. I had like a pain thing that I went through with my shoulders. My husband gave me one massage, and it was like 80% improved the next day. And that was a wake-up call for me, is that I need to practice what I preach and get myself into body work on a regular basis next year. So I'm putting that on the list because I respond so well to it. And by the way, Renee, do you remember my friend Renee Allen that did that? She did a free class for us when we were doing the anxiety recovery thing, the self-treatment thing. And she came in and did that free class. She is doing another streaming thing on January 1st in the late afternoon. And yours truly is going to be there. She's doing it from her yurt. I mean, in Maine, she's got that cool yurt. And I saw her post something recently, and I was like, oh, how I long to be in that. And then she wrote me, she goes, well, that comment kind of inspired me to do something. I got to take him out here in a minute. He's getting a little active over in the crate. Probably needs to go out. But anyway, so I'm going to keep this brief. But so I'll post something about that and let you guys know that that's happening. I'll be doing that. I'll be starting my year off January 1st with Renee in her yurt doing a self-care myofascial release, get out the foam roller and all that. It's going to be amazing. I would just love to be there in her yurt. Can you imagine, in that cozy yurt with the snow outside in Maine, like heaven. So I was just reflecting on like all these things that challenged me in the last year are pretty well resolved right now. And the feeling less is more when it comes to your body, in terms of just things that are grabbing your attention. I even had a tinnitus in my left ear that I don't even remember when I've had that last. That was my jaw. Started working on my jaw, that resolved. My metabolism, it must be just the commitment to intermittent fasting I've done this year. Sully, I know you're out there watching. You probably could speak to this because I'm not that diligent at the moment, and I'm not eating that great, to be honest with you, because, we're snacking and we have all these cookies and stuff in the house. But my weight has been really dropping. So that in my energy is good. So that tells me something kickstarted in my metabolism to kick it to another level, that it's serving me better than it has, because I'm not working at losing weight like I was. And I'm dropping. I haven't gotten on a scale. I want to get on the vet scale yesterday because Mr. Beasley weighed a pound less there than he did at home. We need to get on that scale. But, my clothes definitely, I feel comfortable in my clothes. I feel comfortable in my body. So, something has happened with my metabolism because I'm not doing a whole lot more than that. And the fasting is not as rigid as it was either. I'm still doing it, but not okay, the window opens, the window closes like that. It's a little more loosey-goosey. So something has shifted. And like I said, I'm sleeping like a baby. Things that have challenged me, sort of stress-related things, I'm coming into the home stretch resolved, because when I check in with myself, I don't have a whole lot of anything that's talking back to me. So I wanted to share that. This is, do a scan of your body and reflect on, over the last year, things that may have challenged you, pain-wise, digestive-wise, maybe your jaw has been an issue, mood-wise, anxiety-wise, things like that can be related to physicality. Breathing issues. I had some significant breathing issues. I had COVID this year and was using my nebulizer. In fact, traveled with my freaking nebulizer to Chicago. gone. So we tend to forget when things resolve, that when we just get to feeling sort of boringly normal in our body, do not discount how profound that is as a sign of thriving, not just surviving. You are thriving, especially as an older person, if you don't have a lot of signals going on in your body, in any of your systems. You are pretty majorly thriving. And it's really good to be able to trust our bodies, that our bodies are designed to operate independently and not needing a lot of intervention generally. They need care, but like in terms of like heavy duty intervention. And when we can get into in any of the systems, take a look at your different systems, your digestion, elimination, even your urinary system, things that you might have been challenging, your breathing system, cognitively, your brain, mood, things like that, sleep patterns, appetite patterns, things like that. If they really are not calling attention to themselves, you're thriving. You're thriving. You're doing great. Even if any of those symptoms, so let's say you're challenged in one of them, like, man, it's the end of the year and I'm still, having this heartburn, for example. Well, take a look at other systems of your body. Like, are you struggling with sleep? Are you struggling with pain anywhere? Are you having headaches? If you are not in any of those areas, those are areas of your life you are thriving in. So I'm just going to encourage you at this. I'm going to probably talk about these things through this month of December of like reflection. And that's something to reflect on. Like, are these things that are supposed to be operating at optimal level, doing the job they're supposed to do, and allowing you to live your life without paying attention to them because they're not grabbing your attention? You are thriving in those areas. You're not just surviving, you're thriving. And those systems are supporting you. That's part of the support system. And we can trust our body then to carry us. And so we can do other fun things, and then think more about like, how do I want to stimulate my body to feel good with like a good meal or something like that? I don't know. I hope this is making sense because it really did to me yesterday. And I'm going to read you a poem here at the end because I just opened to this today. David Whyte, Everything is Waiting for You. I found this in my car. I was rambling around in my car. So I'm like, oh my God, that book. So I just opened to this, and it kind of, yesterday I was talking about mothering and mother loss and things like that. And so this poem I just opened to, and it kind of an extension of that. So I thought I would read it today, and it's called Looking. My mother is a young girl again, standing at the edge of the field near the milepost, ready to leave. Across the field, invisibly, we stand together and each alone, waiting for her to see us, her son, her daughters, her husband. We raise our hands to catch her sight, but she cannot see us. She is too young for us yet. She only sees the sky and the green fields beneath the way young eyes do. And she looks at the road leading away toward us and feels on her skin the clear breath of sunlight. She is made for the world in her own way. She is life about to make life. She is a youth about to blossom out of a particular tragedy in her own kind of triumph. She is herself, but she is all of our past and all of our futures too. She is looking and waiting as we wait for everything to come true. I'm curious about what stimulated that poem for him, but it's a beautiful poem about his mother. It makes me wonder if he didn't write that, as a reflection of a photograph he saw of his mother as a young girl. But I think that's a beautiful poem, and I'm going to leave you on that note. It is again called Looking by David Whyte, and I hope it touched your heart in some way as it did mine. All right, guys, I finally got this done, and I hopefully succeeded. Mister's giving me a look over there, so I'll take him out. But thanks for joining me for Coffee Talk again. Hope you guys are doing well out there and reflecting on how well you are thriving, because somewhere in your whole situation, you are. So embrace it. Catch you later.